It is May 12th, 2025. It's about 83 degrees and it is now 3:15 in the afternoon. I'm back out here. So what you see me doing early this morning was getting my nasturtiums planted by the fence. So in the wheelbarrow I have this variety, and by the fence we went with this one, which is the Ford Hook Favorites Mix and the Jewel Mix colors. So we'll see how they do. Around the light pole I managed to get the NVN and I sowed a whole pack around there, so hopefully something sprouts. By the chicken coop we went with the giant flowered mixed colors. So what am I out here doing? Well, on Sunday I watered by hand and I decided that I was not in the mood for that. So 2 years ago I pulled out this soaker and I gave up on it. I was supposed to take it to Goodwill. However, I never got around to doing it, so it was sitting on the shelf. So I decided to pull it out and I started to finagle with it. And I'm thinking of doing a soaker hose, or I should say drip, in this bed and the other bed. And if I get this up and working, then I'll see about those 6 4x3s. So that's what I'm out here trying to figure out. So let's see what we could get done. I got these nozzles, the green ones, and I'm only doing, I think I have a total of 12, so 6 in each bed. And then I'm hoping to somehow connect it to the bed over there, so once the tote is functioning or on, it will take care of both of these beds. Now that part of the finagling my husband is gonna have to figure out. Alright, so I got the heads attached where I think I might need them. In this bed I'm doing watermelon and cantaloupe, and in this bed I did the same. I have additional heads just in case I need them, but I'm doing 2 different varieties of acorn squash in this bed. The melon most likely is going to go by the fence, and the butternut squash is going to go in the back. Don't think I'm gonna utilize this big bed here this season. However, the prep work for next season is done. I have some more tubing left, so once I see how this works out, once my husband gets it situated, then I'll decide on if I'm going to do those beds. So basically I have tubing connected. Look at everything. It is Tuesday and it is May the 13th, 2025. It's about 10 and it's 68 degrees, I believe. So I'm out here today doing one of 2 things. One, this bed is growing weeds and I'm not going to be ready to plant the sweet potatoes in here for another maybe 3 to 4 weeks. So what we're going to do is, I have some extra fabric liner and I'm going to cover this bed up until I am ready to utilize it. Anyway, so I got this project and one more I want to attempt, which is the trellis I did. And then I am heading to the movies. Alright, so I came to the end of this fabric. It suits its purpose, but next time I buy fabric, I think I'm gonna go with the plastic, because this frays when you cut it, obviously. So let me take care of that. So about a couple of weeks ago, my sister sent me a screenshot and it said like 50 things to do before you turn 50 or something to that effect. And one of the things they listed was like take yourself out to dinner. So I've decided that I'm going to take myself out to the movies. So I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. Go and see Sinners and then go grocery shopping. So the next project is creating a trellis. So at my Menards, the trellis thing that I would buy is between I want to say anywhere from 8 something and 10 something. So it dawned on me that I have some resources and I'm trying to be resourceful. So I have this that I used when I was separating the ducks and the chickens, and I have this, a fence that I used previously to hold the chickens in the run. Now that the fence is up in that area, I don't necessarily need it. Now the stakes that go in the ground break once you put any weight on it, and this may also be an option. However, this is definitely too long for this area, so I think I'm gonna go with the green one and basically just zip tie it around, and that's gonna be my makeshift cucumber trellis. So let's get into it. All right, so this is the makeshift trellis. I managed to get it zip tied. I'm thinking I got some wire, I might use that to reinforce, but for now that's what we're working with. Not perfect, but I think it's an improvement from last year's, which my last year option was this. Did what I wanted it to do, but needed to be improved upon. So this was supposed to be my compost pile. So below the bottom 2/3 has chicken manure from about 2 years ago, and I've thrown food scraps in it, shredded paper, and even grass clippings from time to time. I figured that if I put it under this roof line, rain and snow would take care of it. So we try to move it on Sunday. So we had the tractor out here, had some ratchet straps on it, tried to flip it over, still wouldn't budge. So I think I'm gonna have to come out here and cut this tote down. I was hoping to save it because I want to make it a brooder next season, but in order to get this compost started, I'm gonna have to definitely cut the tote away. All right, good everything. It is Wednesday. We're at low to mid 80s and it is 2 p.m. I'm out here. I had to rework my trellis. So I took it down, flipped it inside out, try to make it as taut as I could. So that's what we're looking like. Tighten it up a bit. Got it strained in the back. And we'll see how it works out this year for the cucumbers. So I found some bits and bobs on this drip irrigation. So I attached it to the tote, attached it to the hose, got it here, got the tubing connected. I need to figure out what to do with that. I'm trying to see if I got a close end. Then I'm going to cut it, connect it to that port. Pick up these weeds while I'm at it. And then I have a pump if I need some more force. We're going to open these outlets and see if anything comes out. But first I need to see if I got a stopper end. So let me go look through my stuff. Alright, so it's 4:30. I'm out here testing this. As you can see, I got a bit of drip in this area. However, I still gotta close off that port. And I can't find my transfer pump. There is no wet spots in this bed, so that tells me I need some more force, obviously. But I have a habit of hiding stuff from myself, and I hid the transfer pump and I can't find it. So good everything. It's 9:30. It is May the 15th. It is anywhere from mid to high 70s, and I'm out here burying my drip line. Already started, got the ground cut in, and then it dawned on me, why not splice in this corner and do the same thing for the sweet potato bed. And then all the tubing I would have left is that, which I can work these beds, but I could also hand water it. So let's get this project started. All right, got that taken care of. It wasn't too hard, and this one is complete, so mowing should be easy. Now what I want to do is do a bit of weeding in this bed. So, well, I should say a few of these beds. This bed has the mustard and the collards, but this space in the middle is empty, so I'm going to try to tackle that next. So these are the collards over there, mustard greens. Got this bed taken care of. Now I'm going to start on my lettuce bed. Now, you know, these are all cool weather crops. Now with the temps we've been having, I don't know how long these will survive or how big they'll get. And everything, it is Friday. It's about 6:20 in the morning. It's 64 degrees. We're going up to 86. So I wanted to come out here and get everything watered in. However, I'm having issues with my grapevines that were recently planted. Now this is the marquise. You see the leaves have been scorched. The Reliance is no longer Reliant, and I should say the Reliance is no longer Reliant. Lost its leaves, but there's still some buds in that general area. And the Niagara, this is still green and pliable, but lost a lot of leaves. Now I don't know if that's a grape from last year coming back up, or if that's a grape, or if that's a grape. So I'm trying to decide if I should pull them and baby them or nurse them back in the garage, but I'm seeking advice on that. So any help would be appreciated. Alright, so I'm back out here. It's now 7:30. We're at 68 degrees. We've been getting a bunch of wind, and I was noticing today, this is my fish pepper bed, and I know those are peppers. Now, we had a fish pepper in there last year, so I'm thinking because this is such a clump that it must have been an old pepper. I was mowing earlier, and the lawnmower bump my trellis, and as you can see, that's what happened to the trellis. So I need to rectify that. Anyway, the cucumbers have sprouted up in here, and so has the peas. Now, I'm not going to be too disappointed if I don't get tomatoes this year. However, I do have the mini Zapotecs in this bed, and I would like to get some of those. If not, I have a whole bunch of tomatoes from last season still in the freezer. Now, these two seem solid. However, I might have to do a bit of finagling later. Good everything. It is Saturday. It is the 17th of May 2025, and it's about 2:30 in the afternoon. We are mid to high 60s. So some changes to the greenhouse. One being, I got tired of waiting. I basically reclaimed all the soil. It's in here. If it hadn't sprouted anything, it was in here. If it sprouted anything that wasn't worth nothing, it was in there. The peas started to sprout. I got 3 out of here, and I put it in the bed outside already. Now, these is mostly peppers, and here was the rat tail radishes. The cassava so far is doing lovely. I got some sprouts in this bucket, and I'm waiting on this to figure out what it's doing. Now, these are all peppers, and I hadn't reclaimed them as yet because this is a hot pepper and it has a sprout. This is the roast compollo. I'm trying to figure out what that's gonna do. And this is my pippin. This is the only germination I've seen in the pippin so far. This is an unnamed, no name, and it has a sprout in it, but I don't know what it is. I'm thinking I'm going to take the roast compollo and the pippin and place them in a different location. Now, the potatoes in this bed started to poke their heads out, and I will put some more soil in this bed next week. Don't think the sorrel is going to do okay. I think those two got some scorch on it, but these two are doing fine. And I did sow a row over there, so we'll see what it does. Got this rectified. Went a little deeper and added some more Quikrete. Alright, so I tested out the drip irrigation setup, and I couldn't find my pump, so I had to go buy another pump, but we upgraded. Everything was connected. I still have a leak in this area that I'm waiting for this to dry off, and then I'll put some of this tape on it. I don't know if you could tell, but it's bad, all these spots that have been soaked. And so has this bed. I got nothing out of this one, but everything else has some damp spots. Now, this, that you make a tell, got water right there. This one and that one worked. That one had a few drips, but these last two I hadn't seen anything. I need to clamp it off here, and I also need to clamp it off on this end. So I'm waiting for the ends in the mail, and then I'm going to do one more test run, see how long it takes to cycle through, and I'll let you know how that worked out. Now, the roast compollo and the pippin I'm going to put on the heat mat. Basically, how I have this set up is I have 2 acorns varieties, 2 watermelon varieties. These are all of the okra already sprouted. The eggplant, watermelon, cantaloupe, and I planted these last Sunday. So basically they're here on a heat mat. In the daytime, the heat mat is not plugged in, only overnight. The only sunlight it's getting is the sunlight when the garage door is open. And for some reason, the bees seem to like the moisture they're getting out of this soil. All right, so let's go check in on the corn and see how that's doing. So basically, I planted 6 seeds in these bags, and so far I have 100% germination in each of these bags. So I'm happy about that. And lastly, let's go check in on the birds, see if they flew the coop. Mother is squawking, so that's a no. But they're all feathered out. And it looks like there's only 3. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me for the week. I trust everyone had a blessed week. Hope you have an awesome weekend, and the ancestors willing, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.